Okay, let's just check I'm live in the right place. Whoop. Oh yeah, brilliant. Hope. Oh no, sound, we don't need that. Bear with me a minute while I turn the sound off. Got Evelyn's tablet going. I'm not sure I know how to turn the sound off on Evelyn's tablet. This could be fun. See? You can hear me in the background. Ah. Just bear with me a minute, technicalness. Let's see if I can get the sound to go off. Aha. Right, I think that's done it. Hi Val, hi Julie. Right, I'm hoping, hope that that's worked. Hi Sam. Just want to be able to see your comments as they're coming in. So I need to have my Evelyn's tablet going at the same time so that I can see what is happening. Come on. That's better. Right, hi everybody, how are you all? Thank you for joining me for a mini make tonight. So mini makes are all about, hi Liz, mini makes are all about you using things from your stash, and being as it's double up month, I thought let's throw in a free class, why not? So this won't take very long. I wouldn't have thought it'd be more than a sort of a half an hour at the most. But certainly it's a stack of cards that you can repeat again and again and again. And you can use it over any theme. You can add any bits and pieces you want to it. Yeah, it's just really versatile. Just uses a couple of sheets of card and a couple of sheets of patterned paper, and then whatever you've got in your stash really. So that might be toppers, it might be stickers. Hi Marion, you're not late, we've only just started. It might be bits of bling, you know, it might be pearls or diamonds or ribbon. You can add sentiments, you can add pictures and little die cuts and things. Hi Jodie. So yeah, you can make it whatever you want. So I'm going to start by turning the camera down and I'll show you the finished items first. Then we'll have a quick check that everybody's got what they need from their stash, and then we'll get started. Okay, so just bear with me a minute. Let's turn the camera around. Come on, turn around. Hi Sam. Right, okay, there we go, let's put it down. Okie dokie. Right then. Okay. Now, hopefully, my comments are up to date on here as well. No, they're not. That's really helpful, isn't it? Right. Oh, let's put a light on as well, then you can see what we're doing. That's better. Okay, right, I think my comments are up to date now. We'll have to, hopefully, have to give it a nudge every once in a while, I think. Okay, so this is my original stack that I made. And I put these on the Facebook page as well, so you will have seen these before. So this technique makes 4 cards all in one go. So great if you need multiples. Let me just see if I can fit them all on there we go, fit them all on the grid paper. Yeah, so great if you need multiples. So one of the things I find at this time of year, or this week particularly, is that I kind of get to Easter and then I have a slight panic because I really do want to send a few Easter cards, not loads, just a few. And I just haven't got time to make them. I haven't got time to get organised, and I just have a bit of a panic about it. So whilst I wouldn't send the seashells as Easter cards, the ones that I'm going to make now if I put the right sentiments on them, could be sent as Easter cards, very much so, because they're beautiful spring flowers. But you can see that you can easily adapt these for happy birthdays, or, you know, you could put, these are kind of just because, why not cards, really, I call these. You know, you could make them into whatever you want. You could certainly make multiples at Christmas using this technique. That's not a problem at all. The eagle-eyed among you will have noticed that there are 4 different pieces of paper on each card, 4 patterned papers, and you've got 1 of each size on each card. And that's where the stacking and the shuffling comes into play. Okay, so the stacking and the shuffling is universal. You do exactly the same technique for every time you do this technique. It's the adding of the sentiments and the other little bits and pieces and the bling and the ribbon or string or whatever that kind of personalizes it and makes each of those cards individual. So let's have a quick check. Let's get these out of the way and let's have a quick check that anybody who wants to make as we go along, that you've got what you need. So you are going to need some cardstock or some blank card bases. So I always make my card bases out of A4 card, and I'll show you how I do that. But if you've got just ordinary card bases, the standard kind of fits in a C6 envelope kind of size. So this is half a sheet of A4 folded. Then you can use those as well. That's not a problem. And any kind of plain card for card bases. So I've got 2 sheets of A4 because that will make me 4 cards. And then you need 4 bits of coordinating patterned papers. So I'm using the Flowering Fields, so from the Windmills and Tulips suite in the current mini catalogue. Double-sided papers work brilliantly, the Stampin' Up! Ones, because then if you mix up your patterns and you don't like how you've got it, you think, well, that doesn't quite coordinate, that doesn't quite go together, then you can flip a couple of the papers over and you've got a whole different view and a whole different way of looking at them. So that's what you're going to start with, is 4 pieces of patterned paper, and I'll tell you what size and everything in a minute. And then you just need an array of bits and pieces. So I've got some little adhesive dots, pearls. I've also got, to go with my patterned papers, I've got a windmill cutout, a die cut. I've got 2 little windmills cut out. And then I've got a load of sentiments and bits and pieces that I've already stamped. So you can do those after we've finished if you've not got things like that to hand. But if you have, then great, you can grab it. But putting the bits on and kind of prettying it up at the end is really easy to do. So you shouldn't have any problems with that at all. So let us start with making the card bases. So I'll show you how I make my card bases. So I get my scoreboard in and my piece of A4 card, and with the short side at the top, I'm going to score at 10.5 centimetres. Now I do all my card bases in centimetres. I'm not really sure why. I think just because it just works for me. I don't know. It's just how I've always found to. I hate wasting card, so I'm not one of these that cuts a bit off and then cuts the A4 into cards. I use the whole sheet. Once I've scored down the centre to give my crease in the cards, I'm then turning it round so the long side is at the top, and I'm scoring at 1 millimetre before 15 centimetres. So that's 14.9 centimetres. I'm scoring. I'm going to cut in half, and there's 2 card bases. Once I've folded them over, there's 2 card bases. So I'm going to do the same again on my Mango Melody. So I'm using Poppy Parade and Mango Melody. So with the short side at the top, I am scoring at 10.5 centimetres. And with the long side at the top, I'm cutting at 14.9 centimetres. And that gives me my 2 card bases in Mango Melody to get started, okay? So get the scoreboard out of the way a minute. I'm just going to fold and crease these into card bases so that that bit is done and out of the way. That's 2. Yep. And 3. And 4. And that's all my card bases done, sorted, ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to put those to one side because I will obviously come back to them once I've done my stacking and shuffling. So this technique came from, I think she's an American demonstrator called Debbie Henderson. And then it was also revisited by one of my favourite demonstrators, who's called the Pampered Stamper, Jackie from Canada. So that's where the idea came from. Okay, so back to our cutting board is what you need, or if you're measuring with scissors and a ruler, that's absolutely fine. I've got the measurements in inches and in centimetres, so hopefully everyone should be happy. So I'm going to put the measurements here on one side, and I will take a photograph afterwards and stick that on the Facebook page as well so that you can see the measurements and you've got those to sort of save the photo or whatever. So you are going to need your patterned papers to be cut, all 4 of them to be cut to the same size, and they need to be this way up. So I'm sure someone can tell me whether that's portrait. That's portrait, isn't it, that way up? Is that what Amber told me the last time I had this discussion? I think it's portrait. So if you've got a pattern on your paper, you need to make sure it's going up the right way, basically. And your patterned papers need to be cut, if you're in inches, it's 3 3/4 inches on the short side, which is at the top, by 5 1/2 inches down the long side, which is down the side. If you're in centimetres, it's 9 1/2 centimetres by 14 centimetres. Okay? And you need all 4 pieces to be cut to that exact same size. So let's go over that again. With the short side at the top, with your pattern the right way up, your paper needs to be 3 3/4 inches on the short side at the top, by 5 1/2 inches on the long side down the side. Or if you're in centimetres, you need to be 9 1/2 centimetres across the top, by 14 centimetres down the side. Okay, so just give everybody a minute, and it looks like my screen is not refreshing, so I can see there are some comments. So let's see if I can. There we go. Hi Amber, I'm late too and still at work, will be in and out. That is fine. It is portrait. Get me, I got it right. Look, get me. So yeah, don't worry, this will be in the Facebook page, and I will hopefully have time later on to download it to YouTube as well. So it'll be in both places for you to be able to see should you need to. Right, let's just see if I can get a better. Right. Yeah, portrait is short at the top and long as you go. So you could draw a portrait of a person. Oh, so obvious, isn't it, when you think about it? Landscape is horizontal, so you could fit in trees and houses. Thank you, Jodie. It's kind of obvious when you think about it, isn't it? If you have a brain, like I clearly don't have. Anyway, never mind. Okay, so once you have cut your 4 pieces of patterned paper to that size, so 3 3/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches, or 9 1/2 centimetres by 14, you're then going to cut each piece into 4 smaller pieces. Now, if you've got a scoreboard, a trimmer, you can do this at least 2 pieces at a time together, which is also really handy. So you're going to put the short side in at the top, and you're going to cut off either 2 1/2 inches or 6 1/2 centimetres. So let's go in centimetres, and you're going to go all the way down so that you've then got 2 pieces of paper that look like that. So you've got a thicker, longer one and a thinner, longer one. So you're cutting across the top. This piece here measures 6.5 centimetres or 2.5 inches, whichever way you're measuring. Okay, and then you've only got 2 more cuts to make. These 2 pieces will need to be cut widthways as well. So, and don't worry if you're missing this, because I'm going to repeat it again on my second 2 bits of paper. So let's take this smaller strip first. I'm going to bump them together so I can cut them at the same time. And I'm cutting at 2 inches or 5 centimetres. And whichever you've started with, so I've started with centimetres, stick with whatever it is you've started with. So you've now got 3 pieces that look like that. Yeah. And we're now going to cut this last remaining big piece widthways as well. So let's just get those bits out. Wait a minute. So again, making sure that all my pieces are together. I'm going to cut down 8 centimetres or 3 1/8 of an inch. So 8 centimetres or 3 1/8 of an inch. So I've now got 4 pieces of patterned paper from the same single sheet. Okay, so let's just go over that again for those who are crafting along. Your original pieces of paper need to be 3 3/4 inches by 5.5 inches or 9.5 centimetres by 14 centimetres. The first cut you make is with the short side at the top, and you're measuring in 6.5 centimetres or 2.5 inches if you're in inches, and then you're cutting all the way down the full length of that patterned paper. The next cut you're making is on this shorter strip that you've just cut off, and you're going down 2 inches or 5 centimetres. And then your final cut is going down the thicker strip, and you're going down 8 centimetres or 3 1/8 of an inch. So let's do that again. Let's just move this one out of the way a moment, and then let's do that again on the final 2 pieces of patterned paper. So again, make sure your pattern's up the right way. Stack your papers together, and with the short side at the top of the scoreboard, you're cutting at 6.5 centimetres, or if you're in inches, that's 2.5 inches, all the way down. Okay. Then you're turning it round and you're cutting with the long side at the top of this slimmer piece, 2 inches or 5 centimetres. And whatever you've started with, stick with. Whether it's inches or centimetres, stick with the original, whatever you started with. And then the thicker piece, you're cutting at 8 centimetres, or that is, if you're in inches, that's 3 1/8 of an inch. Okie dokie, let's get the trimmer out of the way. And then you will have 4 different pieces. I'm going to leave the cutting guide up so that you can see it should you need to. Have a quick refresh of the comments a minute. If I can just do it this way instead. Hi Sally, hi. Okay. So then what you need to do is to stack all the pieces that are the same size, one on top of the other. So you've got a pile of 4 in each stack. Yeah, you've got four pieces of patterned paper in each stack. Okay. that's your stacking bit. The next task is to shuffle them, okay? So the way that we're going to shuffle them is by making sure that every pile has one piece of paper of each pattern in the pile. So the easiest way I find to do this is to kind of move them all down here, and then to shuffle them by kind of dealing them like you're dealing cards. So one each, like that. And then the next one, you need to move along a pile so that you've not got any two that are the same. And that one I can immediately see is going to come a cropper, isn't it? Because it's too many oranges next to each other, I think. So I think maybe I'll swap those over. Let's try that instead. You just need to make sure that each pile hasn't got two of the same in it. So that one, that one, that one, and that one. And then finally, that one, and that one was the one without, wasn't it? And that one and that one. There we go. So you then should have 4 piles with each pile's got the 4 different sizes of paper in, but each pile's also got 4 different patterns of paper in. Okay. And then this is where we get to the creative bit. So I'm gonna leave the cutting guide there the whole way through. So I'm gonna move these stacks out of the way so that I'm just working with one stack at a time. And I'm gonna bring in a card base that we made earlier. And now I'm going to layer the papers up. And it's really important that you don't stick anything down until you are definitely sure that you are happy with what you've got. Because you might think that's a bit too busy for me. And you might think I need to have a change around. No, don't like that because that's blue. And I haven't got any blue. So maybe, I think, what about that? Do I prefer that? No. Is it that one? And would I rather have that? No, that one's a bit plain, I think. So you need to kind of have a shuffle about until you're happy with the layout of your pieces and you feel, yep, I can live with that. Once you've laid them out, as you can see, I've left a little border around the outside and a little border between each of the pieces. So when you stick it down, you need to make sure that you've got that border still. So I'm just going to take one piece off at a time, glue it. This is where my glue runs out, I expect. I do need to open a new one and stick it to the card, making sure that I'm maintaining that border all the time. And just checking to make sure that that border is going to work for all my pieces of paper. And you're just going to keep going. Oops, it's sticky, that bit. Just going to keep going until you've got all your patterned papers stuck down on all your cards. So who is crafting along with me? Who's got bits out of their stash? And what, not only are you crafting along with me, but what theme are you using? Are you Easter? Who, I bet there's somebody on here who's making Christmas cards. Who is doing, come on, time to confess, who is doing or planning to do Christmas cards? I know there's at least one of you out there, it's inevitable. If my mum wasn't on holiday and watching this, I bet my mum would be making Christmas cards. She does love to make Christmas cards early. Right, there we go. So that's one done. Let's bring in the next one. This is a great way as well to, if you've got just like a little bit of patterned paper left in your stash, maybe you've just got a bit left over that you want to get a shot of, or you know, you just think, actually I can't imagine I'm going to make anything much with that. I can't see what I can make with that. This is a really great way to use up like oddments and leftovers and just bits that you've got. And I'm going to fiddle with this for ages until it's how I want it to be. Don't want that one to be, I suppose I could have that one turned over. That would make nice clouds maybe. But then I quite like that how it is as well. No, I think it's going to be like the last one. I'm going to stick with the original, my original layers. So let's have a look and see who's crafting. Who have we got? Val is happy. I don't start Christmas cards until October and then panic I won't get them done. I love it, Julie. I love it. I love it. I always make this massive assumption that I am going to need to make Christmas cards. So I plan out in my head what I'm going to need and what I'm going to need to do. And then I demonstrate so many Christmas cards in all the workshops running up to Christmas that invariably I've got way too many cards for what I actually need. And so then all my brilliant ideas that I have in my head come to nothing because I don't actually need any Christmas cards by the time I get to Christmas. So yeah, it's a bit fatal really. Because I do like making Christmas cards. I don't think there's many crafters that don't like making Christmas cards, are there really? I mean, it's sort of a stock of our trade, isn't it really? I'm determined to get the last drops out of this glue as well. I refuse to open a new one until it's definitely completely gone. Just keep lining up as you're going. Is there nobody crafting along with me? I cannot believe that. Who is crafting along? There must be somebody out there who's having a go. Come on. No, I think that might have seen the last of it. Might have to move on to the seal for the time being. Amber's working along, I can see that. Who else? I don't know why on Evelyn's tablet it doesn't show me the comments up to date. It's kind of annoying. So what have we got? Marion, sorry I didn't get around to doing prep, but noted all the instructions. Good way, it is a good way of using up leftovers. Yeah, it is. Well, you can do it later, it's fine. Liz is crafting along. Well done, Liz. I knew I could rely on somebody. Cool, brilliant. Okay. Right, card number 3. Let's have a look at what we can get out of this one. Oh, this is nice. Like the oranges in this one. That's pink on the back, I think, isn't it? Oh no, it's bluey greeny. No, I think we'll stick with the tulips. I like the tulips. We will stick with them exactly as they are, I think. We did this one as a Zoom craft along when my mum, my sister and Evelyn and my niece and I, we all had COVID at the same time. So we did lots of Zoom crafting in the lockdowns. So when we were all laid up with COVID, before we all started feeling really rotten, we decided we'd do some Zoom crafting, and this was the technique that we used. And we all obviously had completely different pattern papers and bling and everything to go with it, so it was a lot of fun to see everybody's cards turned out so different from each other. Okay, final one in my stack. I've got that one and that one down the bottom, that one at the top and that one in the middle. Right, what can I do with this? can I break it up at all? That might work. I think maybe we'll have it like that. Because I do really quite like the tulips and I would like to hang on to them, I think. So we'll have some clouds in this one. Why not? It's certainly quick and easy to do with this seal as well. That's good. Ooh, that was it went a bit wonky. There we go. There we go. Okay. So I have now my 4 beautiful patterned spring cards. Hang on, Liz, I can see you've written you're confused about something. Confused myself as I have a different sized card base and to translate. So, oh, okay. Yeah, that happens sometimes. If you've got a slightly different sized card base, yeah. I mean, it's possible to work it out with any size card base. So even if you were doing it with a square card, actually, it is possible to work it out. But it did take me a little while because the American card base sizes are different to ours because obviously they're all in inches and nothing else. So it did take me a little while to work out this, and then to work out the centimetre sizes as well was a bit of a challenge, I have to say. Right, now I am going on to adding my bits and pieces that I've got. So I've got a whole variety of sentiments and windmills and this and that. So I really want to put this windmill on somewhere. The place where you want to stick your overlay, if you like, your embellishment, is kind of around this centre bit where all 4 patterns of paper meet. And the reason you do that is to try and disperse the patterns a bit. If like me, you've got really busy papers with loads on them, then it's quite handy to have just something that's a focal point, but that also sort of breaks the patterns up a bit. So something like that will help to break it up a little bit. So that is what I am going to do. I might even add a bit like that maybe, or on that one. No, I won't quite like it on that one. And I find if you've got lots of sentiments kind of already cut out, or that you have got kind of ready to go, then you can kind of do exactly like I'm doing now and move things around and mix them up and see what they look like and think, oh, I like that, I don't like that, whatever. Which also works, I find works quite well. So I was going to put a hello on that one. Then I probably need a bit of a windmill or something on top as well. So I think I might put that one on there. Then I need I've got finding a friend is the best discovery of all, or it's so nice of you to be so nice. I think I'll have that one on there. A little backing. So once you've then worked out what you want to layer on top, it's literally a case of taking them one at a time, and either you can stick them down flat or you can add a bit of dimension to them and put them on 3D pads, whatever works for you really. So I'm going to put these on 3D pads. Yep. So that they are just highlight a little bit. Sticky off there. So that's one. I think I'll stick my windmill down flat. Let's see if I can get any glue out of here. Is there any in there at all? No. Completely scuppered, it's gone. Right, let's put some tape on that one then, I think. So that it's nice and firm to my card. And then I'm going to raise my sentiment up over the top of it. So I'll have a mixture then of flat stuck down pieces and raised sentiments. So I'm going to do the old trick of cutting the back of this punched shape. so that I can back it onto the back of this one. And it just makes it stand out a bit more from the card. So just split it in half and then line it up. We've done this loads of times before. So you've got your sentiment has got a little bit of outline, but it's using exactly the same punched shape. I've just literally cut it in half, that's all. And then I'm going to stick some pads on the back of this one, so this one is raised up off the card, so it'll stand out proud of my windmill at the front here. So let's stick it over here behind one of the blades. There we go. So that's that one. My next one, I'm going to stick my windmill to the punched shape. Again, so that my windmill stands out a bit from the card, and then stick some 3D pads behind that one. This one might not have a sentiment on it. This one might end up being a just because card. Does anybody else send just because cards? Sometimes if you think somebody just needs a quick hello or a how you doing, then sometimes I send just because cards. There we go. Just the thinking of you kind of a card, that kind of a thought you might like a card kind of a card. And then my final one, I am going to stick a bit like that, and then, oh no, like that, I think. So I think I will, should I have that one raised? I'm going to stick this one flat to the card. And then I'm going to raise my windmill up over the top of it. So stick some pads on the back of my windmill. What have we got? Amber says, when I snail everything, it always ends up wonky. I've got lazy using glue and budging things about. I think wet glue is really good because you can move stuff around. I think it's a good thing, and it's really economical as well. If you're looking at economical crafting, then it's great from that perspective. What were the sizes again? So the sizes are here, Amber, on my stack and shuffle template there, but I will also take a photograph of that and stick it on the Facebook page as well, so that you've got that to use. There we go. That windmill might be a bit wonky, to be fair. And then my final is I'm going to add a few bits of bling over, liberally scattered over everything, as I like to do. So let's get some bling in. I think we might have some of these this time. So these are brushed metallic adhesive backed dots, just because I haven't used them for a while, and why not? So actually, let me get where's my tool? You can see adhesive back dots flying around the room otherwise. So this one's great for this tool for just lifting the dots off really easily. There we go. And I've got 3 different colours. So I've got gold, and then like a copper colour, and then more of a kind of brassy kind of, don't even know what my colour is, but more of a brassy kind of colour. So I'm just going to, do I need any dots on that one? I might not put any dots on that one because of the windmill. I think I might leave that one blank. And then let's have some final ones. Just liberally scattered across my card front. There we go. And that's it. That's my 4 cards finished. So I'll get that one out of the way, because I will, as I said, I will take a photograph of that and stick it on the Facebook page. Let's see if we can get them to lie down flat. There we go. So there are my 4 stack and shuffle cards. using the Flowering Fields patterned papers. Really quick, easy technique. You can adapt it to any style, any theme you want to. In fact, if I put those up there, I wonder if I can just bring my seashells in underneath. So yeah, definitely a great way to use up odds and bits of patterned paper. And yeah, really, really easy technique to do. So my card bases, just a quick refresh, my card bases are half a sheet of A4 folded in half. So I cut at 10.5 centimetres and 14.9 centimetres. I score and cut. So that's really easy. And then the cutting template for the patterned paper, I will take a photograph of and put it straight on the Facebook page along with my cards so that you can see what I made and so that you can copy it and repeat it as many times as you want to. Okay, let's just have a quick turn around again. There we go. All right. So I really hope that those of you who were making along or are watching on the replay and are going to make have a good time making and enjoy what you're making. Yeah, and we've got what we got going on. The next thing that's coming up is Kit Together on Saturday the 23rd. You've probably just got time now to order a kit if you want to come to Kit Together and for it to arrive in time, I would think. So yeah, if you want to come and join me for Kit Together, 10 o'clock at my house in Lechlade on Saturday the 23rd. And then the other big event is, of course, the Bog Off sale, the buy one, get one free sale, which is on Saturday the 30th of April at my house in Lechlade. And again, that'll be a 10 o'clock start. If you're coming to the Bog Off sale, you're also going to get my catalogue launch as well, because after that weekend, the brand new annual catalogue will launch. Have I got one? Bear with me a minute. Have I got one to hand? She says, no, I haven't. Have I got one? Oh, yeah, there it is. Brand new annual catalogue will be launched on that Saturday the 30th, and I've already started making projects to share with you. I've got the new colours to share with you. Everybody will go home with a catalogue. Whether you buy from the Bog Off sale or not, you'll still go home with a catalogue and some other goodies, so that you've got some samples of the new colours and some of the new products and things. Yeah, so all great. This Friday is the last day to book and pay for May's Coffee Club, and we will be using all brand new colours and products in May's Coffee Club. So I hope to see you at one of those events. It'll be lovely. If not, I'll see you online next time we're online. Don't forget to check out the blog and the website. Loads of different and new project ideas on there, including a whole load of Easter card ideas, if you're still looking for Easter cards. And obviously the Facebook page, there'll be lots coming up on that as well. So, okay. You're very welcome, Marion and Val, and I will see you all again soon. Bye-bye.